Good morning and welcome. This morning, welcome to the Art of Rock. This is every Sunday mornings. Usually it's 10 o'clock, but it's 9 o'clock this morning just cause. This morning, we're just going to be talking about some crazy, awesome shit, and I have some public service announcements first. The first one is... Every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, there's a synth jam, and it's mind-blowing. Watch it. Subscribe to Angelspit's Twitch, by the way. That perfectly came out of my mouth. Also, there's a gig on April 2nd. Boom! And this fantastic guy in the hat and this fantastic lady in the beret, would you call that, Diana? Yeah. She's playing. They're playing. We're all part of this madness. God damn it. Oh, hey. If you want something fucking awesome, if you like your boing boom chuck and your music non-stop, follow MTV TV. And after we've done here, we're all gonna raid on over to MTV TV because it's constant awesome. So, hold on. And in case you don't already, follow Angelspit's Twitch. Now, the point of this morning's conversation is musicians and artists and humans. There it is, MTV TV. We all get together and we're going to talk about music and the process of music and music-related thing or art-related thing. And this morning, I want to bash it out on the concept of the conversation of what does your audience want? Who are your audience? And I want, mainly as it pertains to perhaps the smaller information that comes off with Facebook or with Instagram, but we're just going to let it grow. You heard the question. Go.
Well, there's not a hell of a lot of us to be making comment right now, are there? We need
the two most outspoken people are here, so that's all we need to worry about.
That's a good. No, we need Brett too.
He'll be along.
So I have absolutely no idea who the audience is. The audience for me is me, for the most part. Like, you know, what I do. How do I say this? I like having an audience, but I feel like I would do most of these things. In fact, I know I would do these things anyway because I do these things regardless of whether or not I have an audience.
Okay.
You know, I think my audience. I think my audience. To be honest with you, my audience. I'm looking at my audience.
Yes.
My audience is you guys, and I'm not talking about demographically. I'm talking about my audience is like, you know, Diana's my audience because she's like my extra pair of ears, right? Like she gets what I'm doing, and she can make amazing observations about what I'm trying to produce and help me to how do I say this? Help me to see it better. You're my audience for those reasons as well, Carl. Like, you know, you're my audience because you're a musician, producer, somebody who gets the work that goes into creating something like this. You know, like, and I think for me, that's the thing that I'm really going for. Like, I've never really cared about having like a popular audience. I've really cared more about having a critical one. You know, I think I'm gonna say this. I think that it's actually kind of worked against me. Like when I was 19 and playing in glam rock bands, we wanted to be, you know, everybody's, you know, you want everybody to love you. You know, it's glam rock. You know, it's it's like you want to, you know, it's all about, you know, being seen and whatever. And then like, you know, over time, you know, it's gone from like, well, how do I say this? Like, pop music isn't critically interesting. Like,
all right, hold on. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I want to pull it back to us.
yeah.
I want to.
But that's what I'm trying to do, though. Is that what I'm saying is that I think the audience that I feel like I'm creating for is more of like, more like the musicians and the DJs than the patrons. Like, if the musicians and the DJs like what I'm doing, I assume eventually a popular audience will follow. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just let me know when I can start shooting my mouth off.
Go for it.
Excellent, thank you. I love that cup. John, welcome. You may have grasped the question, which is, who are your audience? What do they want? What do you want? Because the reason I am asking this is because Instagram... Oh my God, I hate Instagram. This ridiculous bullshit bubble that we increasingly exist in, which is where they call a return on investment if you spend $1,000 and you get $3,000 likes. That is not a return on investment because that has no financial, footing. No, it doesn't. It does have a slight one. Sure, you're expanding your audience, but partly. Hold on. Thanks. I see your hand. The question I'm wanting to get at is, what can you do to make your Instagram posts more likable? More, hey, I want to get into this. I want to follow up on this content. I want to scroll through this person's page. I want to engage with this person. Or whatever fucking format, Twitch or whatever it is. And I'm talking about short chunks of things that are going to lead people to your Twitch or to your Bandcamp or to your Spotify, where you can actually make a fan, as opposed to somebody who just wants to thumb through your pictures, where you can actually make a sale. Go. Okay, can I actually throw this to Diana first? Because you never speak and I love what you say. Go.
All right. So I, again, using Instagram, Facebook, and occasionally Twitter, but for the billboards that they are. But then I will go in and have some personal interactions. So I see someone that is interested or likes similar things, and I will send them a private message and get some one-on-one with them. And that starts to pull people in, as well as starts to build a more personal relationship, which turns into people liking and following and possibly sales that I have to ask Adam on that. But just, some of that personal interaction, mind you, I have to... I'm not quite able to explain my organization about it, but just small personal responses help. But also then, like in the Facebook post, tagging some critical people. Perhaps they'll end up seeing or liking your post, perhaps they'll not, but tagging the critical people that are, or bands that are related to that post, or in the comments tagging them, but throwing in some critical tags help too. But mostly on my end, even in real life, I prefer the one-on-one, so I will send personal messages, even if it's, hey, thanks for your support, and that's all I send. Sometimes that gets conversation going.
Thank you, Diana. I see your hand, John. I'm just going to throw it to Adam, who's going to very quickly and briefly hit us with something amazing.
Well, actually, I was going to say that I hate the whole cycle so much that I have... First of all, I get Diana to do it for me. on Facebook. Like I have simply sworn off. I had an experience recently with Facebook where somehow an ad, a boosted post that I was doing turned into a repeating boosted post, and suddenly I got billed for a lot more money from Facebook than I was expecting. And then I wrote to them and they were like, sorry, tough shit. And I was like, you know what, that is the last effing time. I canceled my, like, I removed my credit card info and all that. I am not spending another penny on Facebook, and it's for what you were saying. The return on investment is BS. There is no return on investment. It's not even getting, like, how do I say this? It's certainly not producing sales, and it's not even really getting people interested in what we're doing, and it's supposed to be going right to the people that are already interested in what we're doing.
This is a separate, massive conversation. You are absolutely right. My blood is boiling right now because I think you and me have had the same experience, and looking around the table, I know others have too. I don't want to go down that path. I want to bring this back to organic posts that you can make that will make and inspire people to go to your stuff. And John, I'm throwing it to you now. Go.
Yes, I'm going to speak specifically from not as a promotion, but as like content creator trying to break into and grow an audience. And I have not cracked Instagram yet, because I'm trying to create like longer form content and it's not working. It just straight up doesn't land. And I made like a 2-minute video, or I made like a series of like one to like 3-minute videos of like just like me like basically like mini music videos, like just kind of like standalone, like well crafted. I think like some of them objectively better than others, and like the actual engagement is incredibly low. And then like I post like a snapshot of like my gear, and then I get like 10 likes. I'm like, wait, what? I don't get it. Like something's not clicking, and I think it's me trying to like shift my mindset and like say like treat this as very short form ephemeral content, and also looking at like the success of platforms such as TikTok, where there's high engagement, but it's also like a lot of like low effort to consume content, and that's the thing. The other problem that I have is that I'm stodgily refusing to install the app, and so I'm using it through the desktop interface, and I'm wondering if I'm getting penalized for that, and saying like, well, if only you did this from your phone, it'd be easier, because then we can track everything.
I didn't know you could interface with Instagram a lot via your desktop.
You can. It's a pain in the ass. So there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do it through the website, and you can fake out the website by like saying like this is a mobile device, and it will give you a slightly different interface. But you can post videos and photos through the website. But there's also, I think, Instagram for creators, and that is an actual desktop app. But you need to have like Instagram for Business account and set it up through the app. And also be part of Facebook. So if you're part of that ecosystem, there's actually a different path forward, and that makes it easier to post long form content. But yeah, it's not the right audience.
Okay, I want to try something really quickly. John, did I just interrupt you?
I'm practically done.
Okay, I'm going to record something stupid. Just give me a minute. Oh, a minute. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, cool. So
Go. I think John, go ahead. I think we're about to do the same stupid fucking thing.
You're gonna shit post on Instagram and see if it.
Yes, I am. Next, there it is. What should I say in my tags? Should I? Hold on. I'm gonna give it a nice fucking bullshit thing here.
brutal Sunday aggro.
Use like
session.
completely unrelated tags like roses, pigs, puppies.
Roses.
Springtime.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. Roses. And by the way, if you're watching this on Twitch, please, blessed, thank you. Yeah, please type in some.
Medical marijuana.
Type in some hashtags, and we're gonna type this in. Roses. I've got blessed here. What else do I have?
Oh, bless meth.
Bless meth.
Blessed is great.
Bless meth. That's a thing. Okay. It is now.
You're a trendsetter.
No, it came out as meth.
Why
Bless
not?
meth. Oh, God. Shaya, I hear you. I'll put cats on synthesizers in space. Cats. Keep them going. If you're watching this, put them in the comments. Diana, Adam, you said something else brilliant. What was it?
What was it? Pigs, puppies, springtime.
Pigs. These are separate? Pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be really interesting. Puppies. You know, this morning I wanted to do something. What? Hold on. What was the last one?
Horology.
How do you spell that?
HORO.
HORO.
LOGY.
What is that?
Watchmaking, study of time.
Bless
I know,
this
it's
mess.
my hobby lately.
Hold on, thank you, Judo Shank. Bless this mess. By the way, you know, I want to keep them reasonably. There's a mess. I don't want to attract the fucking Q or anything like that. I'll put in Q. Anything else?
Danger.
I'm on a roll here. What's YOLO?
Oh, you only live once, yeah.
YOLO is a good one.
Okay, what else for... I feel like a dad right now who's doing a fucking thing for their kids. Please, I'm gonna take
Dad
one more.
joke.
What?
Hashtag dad joke.
It's suggesting... Hold on, Diana, go.
Live, laugh, love.
Christ.
That kind of thing is that'll get the suburban moms engaged.
Yeah.
Like, pick the fences and
Oh, but only the lowest common denominator of them, and that's why it's really funny.
Okay, here we go. So I've just posted that. You know, maybe I should have done a post to my fucking band as well while I was at it. And you can see that on Angelspit's Instagram, which I think is Angelspit. I don't know, because I don't fucking care. That's the first problem. I need to care. Throughout the day, we're going to be monitoring that. You guys can remind me in like 10 minutes to go, hey, Carl, where's the hits at? So, back to the important question is that our demographic? Like, you know, I was saying before how, you know, we, because of our genre and because of what we do, and our age, we aren't interested in scantily clothed females or cute boys. But maybe we are. Maybe our demographic is going to be looking at that. Maybe they're going to be looking for some guy screaming into a phone and shaking it. Hashtag Sunday Shake. That sounds rude, doesn't it? I wasn't Sunday Bacon Shake, but, you know, maybe they are. Like, because predominantly on my Instagram, I have people who are into Angelspit who are very serious and very educated and very blah, 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 blah. And I'll guarantee you that's going to get something crazy. Does anybody else want to take over right now? Adam, I see your blue hand. I see your blue hand.
Shining through.
It's a good song. I like it.
Well, okay, so I was thinking a few of the things that have come up. So one of the things that you're like, lots of followers, low interaction, right? It's like, you know, I feel like
1%. Go on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like we all have a lot more friends and followers than are seeing the stuff and, you know, not getting into it or whatever. But like, it makes it very, very hard to get that organic reach if nobody's seeing it. Like we go through a lot of trouble to make these posts. We spend a fair amount of our days doing it, and then nobody sees it, and that's pretty damn frustrating.
Yeah.
Instagram has gotten really fucking complicated, man. Like that's the other thing, is all this shit is so complicated. Like, we have had to change the way that we do things like every month for years at this point, because every time we figure out what Facebook or Instagram are doing, they change it. And so, because, yes, please.
No, I don't want to interrupt you after you interrupted me, after I interrupted you. You keep saying, this cycle of interruptions gotta stop, baby. You gotta stop. This cycle of interruptions gotta stop right now.
I had my little bereavement serenaded me this time.
You've gotta stop this cycle of interruption.
I'm a good boy, damn it.
It was actually mainly for me. That's a Journey song. That was my Journey song.
It was beautiful.
Thanks. What were you saying? I totally forgot what I was saying.
Do some air guitar.
Hold on. And here comes the Journey instrumental. Adam, go.
Anyway. So this is the thing too. Not to get too far down that rabbit hole, what we need something is that's like lower effort, more reward, because like right now things are so complicated and so time consuming that we're at the point that like you can't be arsed, I can't be arsed. Like I've asked Diana to handle all the Instagram shit for MTV TV and stuff, because I'm like, I can't stand it anymore. I hate Instagram so bad. It bores the shit. Everything on Instagram bores the shit out of me. I'm sorry.
Stop.
Everybody
what were you saying?
Instagram
Low
is
something,
boring the
more
shit out of me.
reward. What did you say?
Low effort, more reward.
Low
That's a
effort.
fucking song right there.
Low effort, high reward. So this is the thing, is that right now I feel like, so the reason that we started MTV TV was to create a platform so that we could reach more of an audience in a different way, right? So that everybody could reach more of an audience in a different way. Of course, we have to reach an audience with MTV TV, which is ridiculous. And we are at the point where I feel like we are trying to convince individuals. Like instead of promoting, it used to be like, you'd be having a party, you'd put out some flyers, everybody would pass around your flyers, and you'd have a good party, and a few hundred people would show up. And now we're trying to convince individuals to spend 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And we're trying to convince every individual that we run into. So we can't be people anymore. We have to be salespeople all the time. And then we're doing these things like, we're talking about strategies in which we send a friendly little message like, thank you for your support, but everybody sends the friendly little message that's thank you for your, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I mean, we're like so locked into this bloody cycle, and it is so much effort for so little return. And so like finding the audience, like we know who the audience is. The audience is people that like our music. The audience is people that wear fucking black and dye their hair and put pins in their fucking noses, whatever it is. We know what the audience is. We see them walking down the street. They're not all 50 years old, Carl. They're 20 fucking years old too. And I see them walking down the street, and I'm like, you'd like my music. And I have to go to that person and convince them that they'd like my music, and that is worth more than spending $100 on Facebook.
Yes.
We have to convince people individually.
And I congratulate you on, that's called an insertive expletive. So when you actually put the swear word between syllables, that's an insertive expletive, and that's an Australian level of swearing. So that's as fucking individually or into fucking visually. Here's a short word from Shea.
See, I'm also good at cutting out my swear words in the middle of saying them. Like, this is a mess, you know.
That's very good. No, I digress. I'm gonna, John, yours, go.
Absolutely. So,
Oh!
All right. So, but okay, when you're talking about salesmanship and you're trying to sell people, are you selling people on your content, or are you getting them to subscribe to you on a particular channel or stay engaged in a channel? Because abstractly, are you actually selling your content, or are you selling the platform? You're saying, subscribe to me on Twitch, subscribe to me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on X, Y, and Z. Are you actually selling your content, or are you doing the promotion for somebody else's platform? So my day job is I work for a large media publishing company in the adult entertainment industry, and and we are the platform. It's not the sexiest platform. It's not the technologically slickest platform, but as content creators, it is the original source of truth, and also that anything created is pure as possible. And also, whenever we're promoting it, we are promoting ourselves. We're promoting both the content and our platform, as opposed to it's like we have secondary channels. Like, it's kind of like, hey, we do have like on what was it, on Twitter and Instagram, and there's there's a couple other places where we have actual presences, but it's more like to drive people to our content. If you're just spending a lot of time promoting somebody else's platform, are you actually promoting yourself?
I have thoughts.
I see your blue hand, or maybe you just never. I think your hand is permanently blue. Go.
That's why you like having me here.
I do, Adam, I do. You have a lot of experience, and I'm grateful for it.
Oh, thank you. And I'm honored to be here, Carl, since we're doing the Mutual Admiration Society. John, you nailed it. So that is one of the things that's frustrating, right? Is that we are trying to promote. So what I think is what we're actually trying to promote is our cool. Right, like we're trying to promote our cool. If you come hang with us, you're a cool kid. Right? Like, if you come to our party, you're going to have a good time, and you're going to hang out with cool people, and it's going to be cool, and you're going to be cool, and we're all cool together. We're all cool together. Right? If you buy my record, right, it's because I'm cool. Right? It might be because it's a good record, but more likely you're gonna buy the record because, this is one of those things. Did we buy Motley Crue's records because they were good fucking records? No, we thought they were good fucking records because we thought they were cool.
Yeah, they had cool boots. Go on.
They had great hair. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying though, is that so we're promoting the cool. So what you say about promoting the platforms, that is a pain in the ass. At this point, we're all identifying ourselves as twitch.tv/AtomBomb or Instagram/AtomBomb or #AtomBomb or @AtomBomb at PayPal or at Facebook, Facebook.com/AtomBomb or whatever it is. You're right. It's like we have to stick the platform on everything, but what else are we gonna do if we were running? Like, if I was running my own server for MTV TV and took it off of Twitch and everything, nobody would find it at all because there would be no center of gravity for it. You know what I mean? Like on Twitch, it's like, I throw the channel up on Twitch and so yeah, some people don't use Twitch, so you got to put it on Facebook Live, but some people don't but Facebook Live's going to crash, so you better put it on YouTube. But I'm angry today because YouTube has decided that somehow I violated community guidelines, so I don't have a recording from last night. Because now this is the thing, is they deleted my content and there's no way to appeal it.
Shit. That's new.
I don't even know what we supposedly did, but it's like, apparently, we were spamming or something. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know, was it the skeleton heads, the skulls or something? I don't know. We didn't do anything we don't usually do, and suddenly we violated community deadlines. And I've spent pretty much the whole hour I've been awake this morning trying to figure it out. I can't find a way to contact anybody at YouTube because you can't contact anybody at YouTube or Facebook or Google or Instagram. There's no way to reach a human being on anything when you have a problem. What's up, Julius? And so, so we are kind of stuck in this place where, like, okay, so we rely on something like YouTube to reach our audience, but then they cut us off from the audience with no recourse.
Thank you, Adam. Also, welcome, Julius and Tanner. John, floor is yours. Actually, go, John. I just have to deal with the cat.
Okay. So, so two thoughts. One of them is specifically around content and effort. And you said it's like, all right, think of it like getting people, to a party, and you're going to a party because the party is cool. When you're at the party and cool people are at the party, are you spending a long time with those people, or are you just like, awesome, hey, so and so's in the room, and you're probably talking with a bunch of other people? How much time does it take? It's like if we're spending like more than 5 minutes, more than 10 minutes, more than 20 minutes, an hour creating content for these ephemeral platforms, that are, intentionally long form, then, is that wasted time? Is like, are you spending too much of it? And then the other part of it, and the other idea is that, and this is like explicitly at the MTTV crowd, it's like, why not, it's like, especially if you're having a problem with, getting booted from a platform, or just like, how do we build an audience, and are we promoting Twitch, or are we promoting our content and the artist content? It's more effort, but creating your own platform is real. There's a lot of off-the-shelf components that you can do it. So,
yeah, I mean, I realize that's possible, but first of all, somebody's got to pay for it, and we've made $7 in contributions in 2 months. The thing that I'm currently worried about is, like, will this laptop melt before I can get another computer to run MTV TV. That said, the jumping on the amount of time to create the content thing is kind of a big deal to me, because as I said, I do this for me, and so like doing MTV TV even, and that kind of stuff, like I'm doing it because I think it's funny, and because, like, Diana and I have kind of our weird sense of humor and like to amuse each other. Like, I like to make Diana laugh. It's just kind of, she gets my weird jokes, so I like to make her laugh, and that's why we do that, you know what I mean? And so, like, spending the time to create something like that where, we're going to be running it for a while, that's not an issue. It's the trying to maintain all the stupid little, like,
admin bullshit.
Yeah, it's forever putting the fly, so like, we do the shows on Saturdays, and we do this, special events and all the, all this stuff, and promoting the music, the record, the old record, and, so, and whatever compilation we're on. It's like, we always, this is part of the thing that we're creative people, and we always want to be involved in collaborations and doing stuff, and we're also producing stuff on our own. And we're also producing stuff in, like, it's like, we're music makers, right? And we're musicians, and we're songwriters, and we're producers and all that, and we're making videos, and we're video producers, and we're cameramen, and we're photographers, and we're lighting experts, and we've become experts on fucking streaming, and we've become experts on fucking digital marketing, and we've become experts on. And, like, at some point, man, it's like my head is fucking melting.
Yes. Either you froze at the perfect moment then. No, you didn't.
No, I
okay. Yeah. Totally agree. And this frustration is, I think everybody here and everybody watching and everybody who will watch is going to be a part of it. John, there were such very relevant comments about we're just pawns selling Instagram. That's it. Our content goes towards Instagram. That's it. Ditto Twitch. Twitch is just as bad. You're not going to see any money from Twitch, from your subscriptions. None. Because we're not going to have this conversation right now, so stay muted. Yeah, exactly. An itty bitty bit, and you have how many friggin' supporters? How many subscribers? Why are you spending your money on this? And you get nothing in return. This is for another time. What I want to talk to you about now, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Seriously, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. You know, I would rather go to dinner with Zuckerberg. No, I wouldn't. And what a dilemma. Which of them would I go to dinner with? I don't know. This is no. Shut up, Adam.
So what you do is you pick which one that you would like to punch the most and go to dinner with that one. So
that's a great. Well, and then I'm in the same debacle because I don't know. Which one? I don't know. Which one do you want to punch more? I have two fists, but I'm not a violent person. I digress. Anyway.
Elijah Woods.
The actor, Bilbo Baggins. I love Bilbo Baggins. What the hell is your problem that you don't like a hobbit? You hobbit basher. What the fuck?
Elijah Wood.
Are you going to go after Samwise Gamgee as well?
In my German to English dictionary under Backpfeifengesicht.
I don't know what that means. Julius, translate.
A face that needs to be punched.
Yes, Backpfeifengesicht.
Wow. Wow, hobbit hater. Hobbit hater. Hobbit hater. Hobbit hater. I was talking about something really important, and it's gone now. So my question is back to this is there is always going to be some evil overlord in this new age. It's never going to go away. There are always going to be websites. It was MySpace before this, then it was blah blah blah. And this idea of how there is no such thing as a publicly run equitable website that is big enough to sustain you. It's not going to exist because of corporate greed. I see your hand, John, and I don't want to agree. I don't fucking care. The point of today is not to argue about this. The point of today is to brainstorm ideas about what you can do to have engaging or otherwise posts that are going to push your demographic towards your content. That's the point. Because no matter what evil empire under you, it's always going to be the point. How do I get people in this new electronic age with attention spans getting shorter and shorter and shorter to go and look at what I do? Should you, for example, be entertaining the concept of... Oh, hold on, Alex is coming in. Should you be entertaining the concept of creating content that is specifically for the new medium? Good to see you, Alex. Should you be... You know, that's the whole idea behind Blipvote. That's the whole idea behind the Max Headroom Blipvote. The whole TV show, the movie Max Headroom, is about a compressed TV commercial that span into 3 seconds so people couldn't swap. But the problem is their brains were overloading, as we are seeing here, and they started to explode. That's the irony, is that this has been around since 1983. This has been around since the beginning with radio when people were changing channels. Adam, go.
Well, the thing that just struck me is like here I'm one of those cats that's like, wow, you know, Carl does this whole social media thing really, really well, and like here you are saying, hey guys, how do we fix this bullshit?
Yeah, how do we fix this bullshit?
You know, because we're like, yeah, but you're like better at like, you know, your content production has been intense, man, and like. You know, and this is what I'm saying, like, if that ain't working, what the fuck is gonna work?
Thank you. I do appreciate you saying that. I will say that, hold on, is that right? I think my fantastic thing has had 15 views so far. 15
That's
views.
Why I came here.
Oh, you saw that. Does it say 15 on yours as well? And I'm sure nobody from Live, Laugh, Love has commented, and I'm sure that hashtag didn't reach anyone. So either this one's got legs, this conversation has legs, or everybody is so infuriated by this that we should just change the subject.
Mine says 42 views.
You know, the biggest one I've ever had was me and Brian standing under a palm tree, and we were just staring at the camera, and it got like 800 views or something. But
you know,
that's
actually this little discrepancy here between you seeing like 15 views and her seeing 42 views, like that's another fucking problem, man, is we can never figure out what our actual metrics are on anything.
Yeah.
And they, you know, and then of course, you know, like what metrics are we talking about here? Because like, you know, the metrics that they're charging you for are very different from the metrics that we experience.
So, very, very briefly, from a software engineering perspective, that stuff's heavily cached, and so, you know, they're tracking the individual views on the back end, but like they only count, you know, they only basically update it every once in a while on the front end. So that's why there's a lag. Is, you know, it's like it's way easier to just kind of like approximate. There's also ways of just doing, you know, just a fast calculation and say it's going to be like 42-ish, you know, and the actual numbers might be like slightly larger or higher, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's like for the purposes of just getting a view count, who cares? Like for the purposes of monetization, they'll go to the raw data and actually like have a solid income. That's it.
okay. No, thank you, John. That's facts. I love facts. I feel like winding this up because everybody is so angry there. Clenched fists. All I see are clenched fists. And we're now threatening violence against some of the richest people in the world who think that landing a rocket ship upside on its bottom after Elon Musk did it 10 years ago is cool. Well, it's not cool, Jeffy. I am going to make an assumption. If I was to make a close to this fantastic conversation, I would say the more stupid whack shit you post, the more dumb, funny crap that you post, the better. And it's even better if it has a cat in it.
So low effort, and then yeah, pivot to fisting, I guess.
I'm afraid of what you get for an audience for that. Though.
You're looking at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
think of it, man. I mean, like, either they're young people going, oh, wow, this is really cool, and that's cool. That's totally cool. Or they're old, jaded people going, oh, this is really cool. And that's cool.
Like, hey, I'm young.
Yes, you're very young, Adam. If anybody...
No, Julius is young. I'm old.
No, Julius is an eternal soul. If anybody wants to jump in at this stage and say something brilliant, oh no, I see Alex and Julius with their hand up. Alex, I think you're first. Go.
First of all, hi, and second of all, I heard that the most reliable way of communicating with your audience is via email. So if you have a newsletter, that's the best way because that's free of all corporate fuckery. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Julius, fire.
I actually think that is what social media is for, to post stupid content. I tried to post, like, to make posts with long text and trying to tell stories in them. Nobody cared, you know? Nobody fucking cared. And just post is healthy and put some makeup on, it will get so much more likes, so many more likes. So that's what I mean.
All right.
It's sad.
Thank you. Okay.
All you really need is a cat.
Yeah. It's been like that since the Egyptians, man. That's why when the Anunnaki came from Nibiru, they bought cats. Because we need an overlord, a cute, fluffy overlord. Everyone's looking at me strangely. I'm going to throw the floor open to questions. Yeah, I know, Bacon. Go, John.
All right, let's pivot and kind of bringing up something Killer Witch was talking about. So NFT, non-fungible tokens. Is that something that people are familiar with? Because this is an interesting topic in the creative space, and also talking about finding new audiences and ways to monetize, and also talking about the ethics of it. So, non-fungible token is related to cryptocurrency, and basically it is a digital piece of, you know, it's a digital token that can be purchased and traded, and it's done through the financial network. So there's kind of like ledger and transaction names, so you can track who it's been sold to, and there's a history of it. And as the creator of it, each time it's sold, you get a piece of it. And so one of the reasons why people are talking about it is, like, you know, pieces of digital art are being sold for literally $65 million right now, which is mind-boggling. Now, the people who are doing this are people who have been content creators for years and been building audiences, and so it's not just like any Tom, Dick, and Harry out the street getting a ton of money. But you know, it's like you have to have an audience in order to monetize the audience. With that said, this is happening a lot. Now, here's some problems, and also like here's some things that you need to be aware of. When you create an NFT, you know, you are creating a small digital file that's that includes some metadata that points to a file hosted somewhere. You know, that file is probably being hosted by some startup, which is fine, except where is that file going to be in 5 years, in 3 years, or whatever. So when you buy the piece of art, you know, you get to experience it, you get to see it, you get to see like this, usually like a still image or or a brief MP4. Like the file sizes are pretty small. It's like 30 to 50 megs. So you're not you can't sell like a music video like this. You can sell a song like this, and it's like, okay, there's only one copy of the song, and you think like Wu-Tang Clan, like, you know, auctioning off like their album to the highest bidder, and Martin Scorsese getting a copy of it. You know, it's that kind of situation where, you know, so ethically, it takes a lot of energy in order to do the computations, in order to create these things. That's why people are buying massive amounts of video cards. It takes a lot of electricity and time in order to generate it. So you can go to a website and basically create it on the website, but it also represents a lot of expended energy that, you know, could be, you know, at a time that we're trying to be ecologically conscious. So NFTs are a weird space. It is also, right now, it's kind of blowing up. Like, you know, it's like the tech bros have unleashed the, you know, artists and giving people opportunity to do this. Lots of people are being opportunistic and taking copyrighted content, like things that other people have created, and are selling it and are getting, you know, kickbacks, because there is no overarching system that is, like, you know, preventing piracy. You know, so it's a wild west right now. And so, yep, Pussy Riot is doing it. You know, Grimes is doing it. Yep, there are doing, you know, there are artist collectives that are around it. You know, it's like, yeah, it's an evolving medium.
Thank you, John. So my question is, here's Mark. Haven't seen Mark in a while. How do, like, is it worth at this stage for a band to jump into this? Mark, welcome. Or, you know, is it better just to, like, wait out and see what happens? Or we're talking about NFTs, non-fundable tokens. And, John, you're the second person to explain it to me. By far the best, and I'm still going, I just don't. As a content person and as a royalties XYZ, I do not understand this. All I see are flaws. Like you said, Wild West.
Can I speak a little bit on it?
Sure. Can you let me finish? So my question is, and just and Tanner, you'll notice there's a little place where you can put up a little hand. Just jump on in. Just hit that button or put your hand up, and I'll make eye contact. Go, you're next. My question is, how does an artist create something like this? Should an artist be looking at creating new content for this? What are the Tanner, go.
also it's really up to the content creator. Like basically it's people who've been making GIFs for like ages, graphic designers, photographers, directors, musicians, and right now people are figuring out how to convert a music video into an NFT. It's more of like having a lifetime access, and you can even store it on a crypto device because it is a token. So there are physical crypto wallets where you can plug it into your computer and have it forever. And basically it's like collecting physical art, but it's digital art. And it can be traded in crypto and not, you know, regular US dollars or fiat banknotes. And crypto is very private. You're your own banker with crypto. But it's just a unique, long-lasting way of having ownership over something exclusive from an artist that you love. And it could be, people are getting really creative, beautiful colors, intricate stories. Like Chrissy Wright's newest video is about this girl who stumbles into a factory of clones of herself, and it's just wicked. So it's just a new way of expressing yourself without you getting copyright strikes or without you getting censored. And then you can market to your most wealthiest fans. Yeah, that's why I like NFT, and I'm learning more about it.
Thank you.
And people have already been doing it, like with Angelspit and the USD. Well, instead of the files on the USD, you can make it an NFT, and people could have it for the rest of their life on a crypto wallet or even on a blockchain.
Thank you. John, I see your hand.
Thanks. Yeah, and thanks, Beck, Wish.
Yeah, that was great, Tanner.
So, but yeah, so there's a couple layers in it. It's like, so you touched on copyright. Yeah, there isn't copyright enforcement right now. You know, and so people are absolutely selling other people's work. So piracy is a thing, and you know, so you can talk about, you know, so there's a difference between piracy and remix culture, and you know, and fair use and so forth. And so, like we can go the negative land route if you want, but I want to focus on like the actual act of like, you know, should people be creating stuff with this? I think, you know, it's like this is a time that like it's worth trying. And I'm personally going to do it, even though like I'm feeling squeaky about it in a number of ways. And I also like, it's a very crowded market. There's a lot of garbage out there. There's, as I said, there's a lot of pirated content. There's people who like are just like posting just like random images or like spamming like, you know, here's 100 copies of a picture of a penny or something. It's like dumb shit like that. And it's like, well, as long as like, you know, enough people buy it. Yeah, it's like, so having a built-in audience, you know, that you can promote to, or at least start getting the word out, definitely helps. Also, a lot of the content that has been being, you know, that works well is kind of like highly produced, like TikTok style, like, you know, short video content or a GIF or, you know, repeating image or something like that, usually like very highly produced. You know, so like, you know, I was saying like earlier, it's like you could spend a shit ton of time on like creating the perfect Instagram post, like hours, and then like, and it has no engagement. That time could be spent elsewhere on something that is like, here is a work of art or something. And a lot of them are, yeah, it's like there's a lot of CG, you know, it's like a lot of Photoshop, you know, occurring. So it's like, yeah, it's highly produced. You can, whether or not you can do an entire music video, it depends on the hosting platform, honestly, because it's, you know, the actual NFT, the non-fungible token, is just a piece of data, and it's like similar to like how podcasts are just an XML feed that points to content posted on somebody else's server. It is the exact same thing. And so I will I will agree that like with a crypto wallet, you can have it, you can own it, you can have it on a device, but that is still pointing to somebody else's server, you know. So you have the token itself, but if that service that you used to create the content unless you're pointing to something that you are self-hosting, which you can do, but then that means you got to get in there and like basically know how to wire things together to make it work. You know, you can do that, but like you are now, you've created a product that points to somebody else's service. So you have to trust that that service is going to go around. What if in 5 years it suffers the fate of most startups and goes away? What happens? Does someone else buy that content? You know, do they just let it lapse and then, you know, your content is worthless? You know, what's that look like? That hasn't been happening so much yet, but it will.
Adam, I see your hand. Thank you, John.
Point being is like, do you want to be an early adopter and take risks and have yourself out there? Like the risk is it can cost money to create one of these things, not a lot, but it can cost money and, you know, obviously time. But, you know, there's also the risk of like, you know, somebody else posting your content, and so it's like, would you rather be out there as the authority and saying like, you know, this is my owner, this is my space, and so is copying me, fuck you. Sorry, I'm done.
Yeah, I have more questions. You know, this is new to me. I'm curious. Okay, so it's not a currency though, right? I mean, like in that it's being described as being like a cryptocurrency, right? I understand blockchain to some degree. I'm, you know, not involved, but so I understand. So basically, it's an encrypted piece of content that is artist created that is just generally not available somewhere else, and that's what makes it special. That's my question is like what's
Oh, Tanner, I see your hand.
You know, I don't know, I guess my thing is I'm interested in this because I'm like, okay, so there's no copyright, right? So like that means I could ostensibly take some of my bootlegs that like I've been flagged for on YouTube and like can't really publish anywhere and say like, okay, you know, I've got these bootlegs, but like, you know, so nobody can hear them because every time I try to use them I get, you know, booted off a platform or whatever. So if I had an NFT, is it non-fungible token? Is that what it is? Fungible?
Yes.
Okay.
The cool thing is that it can be traded through crypto, and you can choose to keep it.
Crypto. Now this is something that I would like to have that explained a little bit more. Traded through crypto in the same way that like Bitcoin or whatever is traded through crypto. I don't really understand how
Well, you know how you have your Bandcamp, right? And people pay digitally through that.
Yeah.
And then it goes to your Bandcamp. It goes to your, you know, PayPal. Well, this is like the Bandcamp of crypto in a way, except it's not just for music, it's for graphics. If you make GIFs or those short little glitchy Instagram posts, I do it. A lot of people in the vaporwave community do it. If you're into that, you can turn all of those into non-fungible tokens and you can sell them in crypto, and then you can become prosperous.
Sell them in crypto.
Yes, because
so
in order
people trade you in like bits of Bitcoin kind of thing.
Yes, but there's more than one crypto.
Yeah.
And it's just nice that, you know, hold on to crypto because we're entering the age of the cyberpunk, the dystopia, utopia. So it's just nice to have some crypto just in case everything goes to hell and
As
we're all part
predicted by
robots.
Angelspit. Sorry.
So it's just nice to have some crypto. You can still shop for your everyday things with crypto. PayPal is now crypto compatible. It's just robot money. So it's just another way of selling your art, but in robot money.
Thank you, Tanner. John, I see your hand.
Briefly, I mentioned that a non-fungible token is practically just a meta-JSON that is pointing to a file. So access to the copy of the original file is not restricted to the owner of the token. So basically, like it's not a method of promoting piracy. It is just a method of ownership, and you're transferring digital ownership of the an original thing, but it does not prevent somebody from comping it.
Okay, thank you. So my question is, it's basically kind of selling a one-off, but then somebody has the right to lease/license that one-off?
It doesn't change licensing. You can transfer ownership of it, but it's like, so what I have not seen baked into it is copyright or a sense of copyright. Like if I sell you a NFT of some song, does that give you the right to use it in a commercial or something? I've seen no references to anything like that.
Or sell it on Bandcamp.
Right.
So if I'm making a song and then I offer it as an NFT and I'm going to put it on Bandcamp as well, does that work? Are we allowed to do that?
The platform doesn't prevent you from doing that. I don't, Bandcamp's terms of service might. Well, let's see. You can sell content. You are the copyright owner, but so it's like unless you because when you put content on Bandcamp, you can sell it. You can and you can post it on multiple platforms. It's not like it's an exclusive license.
All right. Well, thank you. And also, once you've made your comment, please remember to put your hand down. Mark, well, it's so good to see you. I see your hand.
Okay. I'm pretty new to the idea of NFT, but if I'm not mistaken, is it not unlike having a, this is artwork number 277 out of 300? Only there is no maximum limit. It's just saying this is an official production from this artist. So someone could, in theory, copy that, but you have an official version of it. Is that not what it is?
I see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's pretty neat. Thank you, Mark.
I'm asking, is that not what it is? That's how I understand it. I've spent maybe an hour thinking about this from before.
I feel like a light bulb went off in my head when you said that.
Cool.
So, my understanding is that I could sell a song as a NFT and then have the same version of that same song. I could then sell it on Bandcamp and everything else.
I don't see why not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still your work.
It's
It's just that you may have this is the official, not pre-order edition, basically, or something.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John?
I would say, it was like, I would add like a little bit of something. It's like, here's like some imagery or something like that. It's the deluxe version of the song.
Right.
That would be the effort I would put into it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I understand all of the words. All the words make sense. The concepts make sense. But from the point of view of the buyer, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, I understand the words, but I don't get it. Go. Adam, please. I see your face.
I think the perspective of the buyer is that you have when you have the CD or the vinyl copy of something, it's like, I've got the object, right? In the digital world, you don't really have that like proof of authenticity. You could have just downloaded that off of Napster, right? So like, if you have the NFT, it would be sort of like a digital artist's signature, like with a little certificate on the back that says this is an authentic work by this artist, and it's the deluxe version. Like, you know, you paid a little something for it extra over what you would have on, you know, just buying the track on Bandcamp, and you got, like, you know, the Polaroids in the in the deluxe CD package, right? There's only one because it's a Polaroid. U-Shriek did that, where they did Polaroids inside their handmade CD packaging thing, and there was only like 100 of them or whatever, and so every one of them had its own little Polaroid that was built into the artwork. And so that was a pretty badass thing. So this would be kind of like, oh, you're the only person that has this particular Polaroid in your package. You know, like you're the only person that owns this one piece of art.
Okay.
And it's authenticated, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So my question is, where does one go to post said thingies? If I have an NFT, and I want to sell it, and can I only sell one of it, or can I sell several of it?
You
You can sell several.
Yeah, that's a choice that you can make. You can say, like, this is a one-off, or this is like a set of 100 or whatever. You can. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would say that would arc the value of whatever it is.
I can mention some specific retailers or sites that you can do it, but I want to avoid basically being a commercial for it. I don't know. Do you want to know it or not?
I guess I could Google this, but if you know of some that you know of, because I'd trust you over Google, just because of the crap that comes up whenever I go through Google, please feel free to post them in the comments. Everybody's thinking now. This has been a much better reaction than Instagram. Thanks, John. Look at you go. Boom, shalalala, boom.
94 views, Carl.
I was going to check in on that. And with that, we watch the world perhaps grow. I shouldn't say explode. Maybe I should sell that as an NFT. Yeah. Oh, Foundation app. Thank you, John. Are you pulling these off Google or where?
That's stuff that I'm explicitly looking at, and that's what some of the artists that I follow are using. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to throw the screen open to a new question. I actually have to just disappear for a moment. So, John, I'm going to make you the dude in control. If you will excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, for one moment. John, the floor is yours. And we're open for new questions, or you can keep talking about NFTs, whatever you want. Go.
All right. Well, broadly, I mean, does anybody have anything else that they want to add to NFT, or just like this is kind of a blue ocean type of opportunity that's turning red? Do people know red blue ocean? It's a business term referring to opportunity. So blue ocean is, it's like nobody's in it. Red ocean is like, the sharks are in the water and there's a lot of blood. Everybody is devouring everyone. And so blue ocean is when there's no competition. So I would say NFTs right now are definitely starting to get into the red. Because there's a lot of noise out there, but do you want to be part of that noise or not?
I think I would want to be part of the noise. Just because it's already hard getting into crypto, and it's becoming hard to get, and it is the money of the future, and could be used in space. So I think that it's worth getting into. Like, the old world sucks. Like, give us the technological cyberpunk world already, and the cyberpunk money, and the cyberpunk art.
Yeah.
All down for it.
Diana?
I'm now curious as to, okay, cryptocurrency, would that affect my disability?
There is a checkbox on. I know my CPA definitely asks, like, is like, have you been trading in that?
Okay.
Mark, you had something?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not really looking forward to the cyberpunk future of people being able to hack your brain and, you know, basically say, oh, you didn't pay the rent on your legs, so congratulations, you're now paraplegic.
There's some sci-fi stories that I've read on that possibility. Adam, you had your hand up?
Yeah, so I popped off so that I could look at the links there, and so I looked at the first one, and I kind of, and I was like, I saw one thing that looked like maybe reasonably decent art. I was like, yeah, okay, this is basically crap. And then I popped open the second one, and one's like, this shit's fucking amazing. Like, so the first one, it was all like, everything that was on the front page was just like junky little junk. And then I pop open the second one, and I'm like, no, this shit's fucking cool, man. Like, there's so many just amazing images on this front page. This is the foundation one.
John,
One is the open market, the other is an artist collective. That's the difference, but they're both in the same space.
Okay, so I'm like way more interested in this second one, you know what I'm saying? Like, that first one, I almost didn't even look at the second one, because I looked at the first one and was like, no. You know, like, that, I felt like I was just being visually punched in the face by Nyan Cat, or whatever the fuck that was, that thing that was on Dead Mouse's Corvette or whatever the yeah.
so if I may ask, how much are they, Adam? Is it a one-off payment? What cut are these people taking, and how does this fucking work? Getting money in your pocket.
So that's one thing that I'm having a hard time figuring out, because I do not know what 1 ETH means, or on the other one, 1.3 bits or whatever. Like, what is this one is like price 0.0496.
Yeah, so
price 19, so that's like an expensive one compared to the 0.496 one.
So those are in referring to cryptocurrency. So there's specific Ethereum and Bitcoin are two examples of it, and they have different exchange rates. Let's see, Ethereum to USD. All right, let's see. Right now, 1 Ethereum is $1,700 USD.
Whoa! What? 1,700?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
So somebody is trying to sell these artworks for $4,000 fucking dollars for this whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, not trying, succeeding. That's why we're talking about it.
So of that $4,000,
no, but this is crap. I'm sorry, but like, I mean, like I'm looking at a lovely digital image of something that looks like it would be furniture, like it's a little sculptural looking thing, but it's not actually a sculpture. It's a rendered 3D sculpture, right? And the price on this is 1.75 Ethereum. So if my math is not incorrect, that's over $3,000 for for that.
Okay, we're all artists here. Art is what you can sell. If you can convince someone to buy it, it's art. One artist canned shit, and someone bought it. Piss Christ.
Piss Christ. I was going to say piss Christ.
It's art. Art can be, if you can convince someone else to give you money for it and they find value in it and derive, some kind of meaning from it, it's art. This is a different medium. This is monetizing something that has existed. It's, yeah, I understand, but also we got to respect it within the sense of like what art traditionally is.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that's baking my brain is I don't. Perhaps it's the buyer's point of view that I don't understand. Perhaps today's whole conversation is I don't get people. I don't get people because I just screamed at my phone and shoved it in my face, and I think we've passed. Can somebody tell me what the views on that dumb shit is? And now here we are in our next chapter of dumb shit. Do I take myself too seriously as an artist? Do I need to get stoned more often? Like,
Carl, I'm looking at something that it's hand touching stones, 0.80 Ethereum, which is over $1,000. It's just this repeating image going.
Yeah. I don't understand. There it is, Julie.
104.
I didn't.
104. 104. Thank you, Julius. Yeah, but this is my point. This is my point, and this is not, oh my god, these people are insane. It's, oh my god, I'm out of touch. I've always been out of touch because I'm more interested in this shit than anything else. And that's my problem as a musician / try-hard artist, is that my head is so far up my ass, and I will gladly admit this, that I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm losing contact with the ability to communicate with Homo sapiens sapiens and what they want. And I'll just say really quickly, I see your hand, and if you keep doing that, I'll turn it into a GIF, and I'll sell it, and I'll make a lot of money, and I'll be driving around in my fucking Lamborghini going, ha ha ha, Adam, ha ha ha. And then what you're gonna do is record me going, ha ha ha, Adam, ha ha ha. And you're gonna turn that into a GIF, and you're gonna sell that, and Pop will fucking eat itself.
That's gonna go viral. No, I'm just saying.
Adam,
that
goddamn, will you stop interrupting me when I'm interrupting you?
If this is what's going on,
yes, just fucking keep doing it. Ha ha ha, Adam. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, Adam. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, Adam. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, Adam. Ha ha ha.
Children.
Shut up. See what? You're supposed to be in the car going, will you kids shut the fuck up?
Let me pull this thing over.
Right. I'm going to kick you kids out in a minute.
The fact that your microphone is so incredibly loud today makes it even worse.
I'm sorry.
We've got to turn that into one of these things now and see if we can get an Ethereum or two for it.
Yes. So, and this is my thing, is that I am prepared to say as an artist that I have lost contact with, I've never had the ability to be in contact with what people look for. Bringing it back around to the beginning. Or should I say sticking its head back up its ass. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, we should all look into this because it's really interesting, and I know all of us have got art that could work on this, and whether someone's going to buy it, gee, I don't know, but we're all building an audience and we could push it in that direction. I don't know if my audience are into this yet. I don't know if my audience are into Bitcoin. Actually, I don't. Which doesn't make any sense because my audience all work in computers and have a stable income. Today is brought to you by coffee and Carl having a nervous breakdown. Does anybody else want to say anything at this point?
Julius, you had your hand up. And Mark.
Yeah, I'll earlier. I'll let Julius go.
Wasn't that important. Should you start? You start.
Yeah, sure. I was just going to say, I understand the idea of art is anything that you can get someone to pay for, but me personally, I don't believe in overcharging people for something. So I think, yes, if you're an artist, yes, you should charge enough money that you can live at least somewhat comfortably. But if you say, well, I made a GIF and I'm going to make it cost $2,000 just because I can, then to me, that's just immoral, just straight up. By that same logic, you can go into the desert and be like, oh, someone's, they're gonna die of thirst. Well, this cup of water is $2,000. You want to pay for it? Yes, you can do it. They'll probably buy it, but you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but although, if I can, one good thing, and Julius, I know I'm interrupting into your space, and Alex, your space, one good thing that it appears about this is that if you sell someone $2,000 worth of your GIF file of you telling Adam to get fucked, and anybody else can watch and view that GIF file online as well. That's my understanding of this. Did you hear that? Did you fucking hear this cat? Alex, I'm going to throw it over to you now.
Yes, maybe it's because I'm super cynical, but just because it's one piece of paper that's digital that says I own this, I'm not too enthusiastic about it, but I think if you do it, I would maybe put it together with the physical version, like this artist called Beeple did, and he did like a whole display, and I think if you put it together with something more physical, it's much more appealing, at least to me. Yeah.
Thank you. Once again, I feel like we've ended up in the corner of a room and each of us are banging our heads against the wall. If anybody else would like to say something regarding this subject, please. Alex, I know. Oh, sorry, Julius. I thought you wanted to say something.
It wasn't that important. I was just thinking, because Carl, you said you do not know what your audience wants. I do not know it either for myself, for my audience. But then I try to ask myself, what would I want? And then I try to adapt to that. But obviously, that's not what my audience wants.
Okay.
I don't get humans.
Okay. Firstly, I want to say that the core thing here that I always come back to is that you are selling your taste. Your choice over what kick drum, over what hi-hat, over what lyrics, the way you say the lyrics, the way you put on your eyeliner, what you wear, everything is your taste. And if you have the ability to hit 1% of the people who also share your taste on this planet, you're going to play to a lot of people and enough people to support you. I stake my fucking career on that because I am talking to a small fraction of people who also share my taste. We all share this taste thing in common. We're part of this fucking tribe. So what you're asking is actually really, really important. What do I want to see? And I see your hand, and I learnt very early in my career that musicians don't buy CDs. And you guys are some of the people who do not, who are contrary to that, but predominantly artists don't buy from other artists. And that's my concern, is that our tribe, and we're a creative tribe, and I'm talking about the larger dark community. We're we are very creative. We really are. And by the way, episode 3 of Angelspit's Patreon video into merch. I'm editing it now, and it's going to be up later this month, although I put a very special thing in the Patreon this morning about some changes that are going on. I'm really proud of this video. And these 3 videos, which will be made public very soon, are going to help you and answer a lot of questions about merchandising and slightly into the marketing and promotional thing. The thing is that you will play to 1% of your audience will buy. And that came up before, that if 1,000 people like you, 10 people are going to buy. And if you want to increase that number, you have to do advertising. And then you have to play outside the bucket a bit by doing dumb fucking videos. The whole thing today is, how do I increase that 1%? How do I reach more people? And Julius, what you said is the core foundation. What you want, I know people who are going to be into your band, and I'm pushing people their way. Ditto fucking everyone. I'm doing everything I can, and we're all helping each other here. Your choices, your taste is what will propel you forward, every single one of us. And so when something like these NFTs come up, and I just go, I need to research it, but I digress. Julius, I don't know if that's your previous hand. And I see Adam's hand. Did you want to say something? No, Julius is down. Well, so many hands going on. Adam, I'm going to throw it to you. No, Julius, I'm throwing it to you first. Go.
I just wanted to make a quick comment or ask a question. Carl, you said artists don't buy from artists usually. I don't agree with that, because I have a lot of friends who are artists and they buy from other artists all the time. So.
Okay, no, I do appreciate that. It's something I learnt early in the game that, and maybe it's from my days of jaded rock and roll, is that if I was playing, the band I was in before Angelspit was called Jekyll Switch, which was fucking awesome. My God, we rocked. We rocked. Anyway, we got to a point where we were playing to a room full of guys with bald heads. Oh my God, it's me. Turtlenecks with Tool t-shirts. Because in the 90s, that's what musicians were, and no one bought merch. And if ever we played with a band that was full of girls and guys who were wearing surf t-shirts, who were going, what the fuck is this shit? We sold a lot of merch. And I have noticed that across the board and online as well. That I mean, to take nothing away from artists or anything else like that, it's an observation I've made that when you start tailoring what you do to artists, then sales can decrease, because I personally, and I stress personally, have noticed that artists' sales that sales do decrease. So it's always important to reach out. But nevertheless, man, I really appreciate what you say, and I hope, you know, and like I said, I'm honored that I am surrounded by artists who do support me. John or Adam, you guys can punch it out. John, go first.
I'm in. Oh.
My bit will be short.
I'll take
right,
odds.
so
1, 2, 3.
we're chasing dragons a little bit right now, because this is a trendy topic. So this is a trend right now, and this is also, we're in an interesting bubble. We're at the tail end of a pandemic. Hopefully, like in the U.S., it is, like we're almost 15%, inoculated. It's like we're at closure. Like the ministry show that had tickets to, that has been rescheduled a couple times, is now rescheduled to October 31st. Like, I'm actually going to see a show this year. Like, it's happening. Like, it's like we're at the tail end of this. Also, to the point of like, it's like feeling guilty about charging too much money for some stupid meme gift. Like, it's, the difference between that and a bottle of water, that someone needs is like, I don't think anybody is thinking of this in terms of anything other than, this is ephemeral. This is something that like I want, not something that I need. And I don't think that there should be any moral quandary to selling something that people want. It's like, because it's for me, it's like, it's like art. Do you need art or do you want art? Is it something you desire? It's like, if, it can bring you satisfaction, it can bring you joy, it can cause emotions, but do you need it to live? Like as a basic need. And so, what is life? What is worth, what is worth living? Sorry. So,
I mean, that's getting pretty deeply philosophical there, my man, because like, what does nature provide, and you live in civilization, you know what I mean? Like art evolved because we had our needs met by nature. Now we live in civilization, so art is a very difficult way to have your needs met.
Making art for other artists versus, being an artist versus, being a commercial artist. It's like, are you selling your soul by making ends meet? I don't think so. It's like, there was a time in my life that I was like, nope, I'm never going to sell out. And then I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah. I'm just going to buck in there real quickly. If anybody has a problem with selling out, come talk to me, and I will put your nerves at rest real quick. If Toyota or Coca-Cola comes along and says, I'm going to give you $1 million for your song, take it. And if you don't take it, or if you have quandaries, come talk to me, and I will say, take it. Because I want you to survive, and I want you to flourish. And if somebody else wants to use your shit to sell their stuff, do it. Although, ironically, Mark, I do sort of agree that I feel shitty about charging somebody, but if it's Toyota, stick the boot in. I'm sorry, I interrupted. I see a whole bunch of blue hands. I don't know who's next. Okay, Adam, you can go next.
So, rewinding a little bit, I think that the audience wants you to be you when you're the product. You wrote a whole album about being the product.
I've wrote a career about being the product, but please go on.
But I think you know when we when we are when we're doing, like, you know, when I say this about the DJ shows, like, you know, like our audience is the audience that wants diversity. You know, they want a big blend of stuff. They don't want to hear a DJ that's going to be a specialized sort of set, whereas, like, if you want a specialized set, you go watch that DJ that does that thing, right? So, you know, our audience comes to see this thing that we do in our way. Your audience wants you to do your thing in your way, whatever it is that your current obsession and creation is. Maybe they don't like it when you doodle as much as when you write novels, if you're Clive Barker or whatever, but maybe you're going to sell a whole lot of art books, you know, because they like your novels, right? Your audience wants you to do you, and they want to feel like they're a part of it. I think the whole appeal of social media in the first place was that people could feel more connected to artists that they enjoy. You know, I think the reason that people follow Beyonce on Twitter is because they feel closer to her hand, you know. And now the thing is increasing that audience. That was kind of the next thing you brought up. So what does your audience want you to do? They want you to do you. What does your audience want? They want you, or they wouldn't be your audience. How do you increase that audience? And that's where you get into that collaborative effort. You know, I'm gonna say, like, I totally hear where you're coming from. Musicians not buying music and stuff. I think that has changed somewhat in the era of Bandcamp. I think that musicians are actually getting better about dropping $1 here and there to another, like, when we can. Sometimes we're fucking starving and we can't afford to throw $1 down because we need all the dollars. But when we can, if we can support another artist and say, like, hey, you know what, I've been enjoying your music, so here's $5. You know what I mean? It's great, and we should do that. We should. And I agree with you on that respect, and I agree that I think it's easier now to do that. Increasing that audience, not to plug MTV TV too much.
Plug it.
I will. Hey, you know, and I'll take the $1 million from Toyota. There it is. I think, you know, again, the reason that we started this was because we're like, well, if you like Angelspit, you'll like Spank the Nun. You know what I mean? If you like, you know, if you're into this thing in dark alternative music, maybe you'll like this. And, like, you know, when we watched MTV as kids, we were kind of like, we would sit through like 5 things that we didn't really like that much to get to the thing that we really liked. And surprisingly enough, we're still singing those 5 songs that we watched in between. We're still singing those 5 songs, and we will go out onto the dance floor for those 5 songs that we heard in between, because to us, it's all connected, even though those things were very different at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I do think, you know, I think that, you know, when you talk about something like Bandcamp, right? Like, okay, Diana, rock star that she is, she went and found all the Bandcamps. Like, if you're an artist who submitted a video to MTV TV and you have a Bandcamp, you are followed by MTV TV's Bandcamp. It is literally a fan camp, right?
That's insane.
it's like literally just there. Like, we're not pushing anything on that Bandcamp. We might follow an idea that Carl had suggested to us maybe in a few months. But it is a place, like, we can, we say this in the chat on there, like, oh, if you like this, go check out our Bandcamp, because all of the artists are on there and you will find their stuff. And it's a lot more than the one video you're seeing. Their whole damn library is on there. They might have one single, they might have 5 albums, they might have 10 albums, Carl. So the thing that I think we need to do to support each other in the Bandcamp realm is to attach, as fans, like, we need to take advantage of the fan side of Bandcamp, and support the I say this a lot when we're doing the TJ shows. There's a lot more ways to support us than financially. Like, everything that leads to us being supported financially is helpful, and that means spreading the word. Mixtapes, right? Like, we used to find out all the best stuff. Like, you got the best stuff because your cool friend would get a mixtape from a cooler friend than them, right? And then suddenly you had the coolest new thing. And I feel like, we have the ability to do that in a lot of ways. Carl, you've done this with your compilations. Brian, a handful of the other, it's kind of interesting because labels are very different than, you're not talking major labels, but you all that have your imprints, drawing different artists together in that way, leads towards that. How do you increase the audience? The thing that I'm gonna say is that as artists and musicians, especially self-producing artists and musicians, we are as hard to herd as cats. It is very hard to get, like doing the online festivals and stuff, and doing real life festivals is a hell of a lot of wrangling. But I think that if we can encourage that low level sense of fandom between the artists and increasing the audience, cross promotion wise, that it helps everything go up. I mean, the whole point of MTV TV is to make everything come up.
Yeah.
Like, together, like we want the whole thing to rise. We want not only to increase Angelspit's audience by getting Barahari's fans to check out Angelspit, very different sounding sides of the spectrum, right? But we want there to be a bigger fan base altogether for dark alternative music. And that's the thing that I think that's the thing that we're really fighting against in all of this, is that and I've said it before, that there's like a ceiling. There's only so many goth fans out there. There's only so many fans out there. And I'm sorry, is it Tanner?
Yeah.
Yeah, said before about the vaporwave community, and I'm like, I take vaporwave stuff, and I'm like, what about this isn't goth? You know what I mean? It's the aesthetics are not entirely different. They're not entirely out of touch. And so I feel like if all of these things kind of come together.
Thank you. Oh man, I'm sorry. I have to catch you off. I got an eye on the time there, because I got to wrap this up in 9 minutes. Thank you for what you just said, Adam. And I encourage every band and every person who loves this community to pimp MTV TV. And after this, we're going to raid back to MTV TV. And I encourage every festival, every band, every single thing you do on Twitch or on Facebook or whatever, raid your audience at the end of it back to MTV TV. We've got only a few minutes left because I got to go at 11. Tanner, I see your hand up. Did you want to add something?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay, well, thank you. Mark, I also see your hand up.
I probably was going to go a bit longer, but in respect to the time, to clarify my position from earlier, I'm all for people feeding themselves. I'm just saying I don't think anyone, artists or corporate types, anyone should be greedy about the money that they're getting. Basically, charge enough to be in a good place, not just barely making it, not, I have a golden tub. That's the short version of what I was going to get at.
For sure, man. I heard a really funny story. This may or may not relate to what you said, and I totally, dude. We're on the same page with a lot of things. We both fucking hate greed.
Yeah.
But I heard this story about a guy who went to fix a ship, and there was something wrong with the engine of the propeller. You know this story? And he goes up, and
I think I told you this.
Yeah, I
story.
think you did. Actually, Adam, I'm going to throw it to you. Tell us it quickly.
Okay, because it is a good one. So the captain of the ship, he goes to start the ship one day. I'm gonna do the short version. He goes to start the ship one day. Won't start, right? Won't start. So he calls in the mechanic, and the mechanic, no, won't start. All right. So he goes around, he's checking around in the engine room, tapping on this, listening to that, and he goes and he finds this. He pulls a screwdriver out of his pocket, gets right up on that screw and goes, gives it a quarter of a turn. He says, give that a try. Boom! Engine starts up. Boom! There it goes. He's good to go. Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Week later, captain gets the bill. And it was $1,000 for turning a screw. He calls up the mechanic. He goes, well, what the hell's up with this bill, man? I got $1,000 for turning this screw. The mechanic goes, oh, no, don't worry. I see the problem there. I'll send you a new bill. So the captain gets a few days later a new bill. It says, turn in the screw, $1. Knowing which screw to turn, $999.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You tell that story better than I could. But, and that's what is so true about art and music, is that artists are at that point. As you move into your thing of mastery, what you have to say and the way you have to say it has more worth. But the problem is, so many artists are so down on themselves. It's like, oh, I'm only worth minimum wage. Or I'm hardly worth minimum wage. So just give me $1.
We spend our minimum wage to feel worthwhile making our art.
Yeah. And I really hope that through these things, you understand that your art has worth, and it's financial worth too. And there is nothing wrong or shameful or selling out or bad or negative about you saying, look, man, I've been doing this for X years, and if I was in any other occupation doing something for X years, I would be worth this much money. Although it's not quite like that. I don't like making those sort of comparisons. What I'm saying is that your maturity, your mastery of your art is worth something. And if you have the opportunity to charge accordingly, you do it, because there's nothing wrong with that. And on that fantastic note, I'm going to say goodbye. And just as a really quick pimp before we all raid all over to MTV TV, slight change on Angelspit's Patreon. I put up a video this morning explaining that these meetings are so inspiring to me. Stuff's coming out of these meetings. I am learning from these meetings. So for a month or 2 or 3, or I don't know, I'm going to trial doing these as the deliverable Blipvert. The last Blipvert for a little while is going live at the end of the month, and that's on the part 3 of the merchandising. But I'm learning here, and you guys are learning here, and content is coming into this, knowledge is coming into this that is outside of what I can normally do, and therefore it has value. The Blipverts, organized Blipverts, they're going to continue. I don't know how often I'm going to do them, but there'll be a few of these going live a month. There's going to be a timestamp where you can go through and see if it's worth your time watching. or you can jump to the bit that's interesting to you. And it's the same thing also with the monthly the MP3 tracks. The improv sessions are blowing my mind, and they're a lot of fun to listen to. They're these long, weird fucking soundscapes that go for like an hour or two. And I'm going to be cleaning up the audio and uploading them as a high-quality MP3. I'm recording them at 24-bit and uploading them as a 320 MP3. And there's going to be a couple of them a month going up as well. So I'm just going to take a step back from doing the Angelspit deliverable, because I don't want to start falling into formulaic things where creativity is being forced into this thing. I want to keep it fresh. I want to present you guys with something fresh. And thank you for letting me do that, because it means a lot to be around people who will go, hey man, try something new. So you're going to be getting a lot more content. And a lot more of me and Adam arguing over dumb shit. Can I get, before we go, can I get the final tally on that ridiculous, stupid fucking thing that I put up? Julius, do you have a number of my ridiculous thing? My feed's full of...
139.
Yes, exactly.
Big caching. So, takeaway. Short, easily produced content will probably engage better than something that you spent a really long fucking time doing. In that context.
Yeah.
It's context.
Yeah. So if you did something like that, but you said, buy my new shirt, buy my new shirt, buy my new shirt, maybe that would be a good thing that would push people towards a thing. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to wave now. Diana, will you please rate us over? Everybody wave goodbye. Bye.